Hey everyone, it's Kami from the Mama Diaries. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. Also go ahead, hit that bell. You'll be notified about more videos just like this one right here. Today I'm so excited to finally talk to you about Ginny and Georgia Season 2. It is one of Netflix's most popular series. In fact, Season 1, for my blog personally, it's been one of my most viewed posts ever. It went out of control, and by the looks of it, I already have my review posted and it's starting to take off a little bit. So I will include the link to my full spoiler-free review and parent's guide in the caption below, so you can go ahead and check that out. But now I want to talk to you about Season 2 of Ginny and Georgia. If you watched the first season, you might want to skip this and go back and then come back, or you can read my review for Season 1. I also have that on there. But anyway, so Season 1 ended with a huge bang. So many cliffhangers, and most of them are answered in Season 2. I will say that but I mean, of course, it just keeps going, because for a good series to keep going, you're going to need those cliffhangers. You're going to need to keep your audience to keep coming back for more. So Season 2 picks up 2 weeks later than Season 1. And if you recall, Ginny, she just found out that Georgia, her mom, murdered her stepfather. Now, her stepfather wasn't the greatest guy, and she doesn't really understand the reasonings behind the murder. And if you're a mom and you understand, you know what was going on, then maybe you can resonate a little bit with Georgia. Georgia's crazy, though. I mean, I'm not gonna put that past her, but you can kind of feel where she's coming from if you're a parent. I'm not excusing her actions, and murder is, certainly not a resolution, but you can feel it. You can feel for her. So it takes place two weeks after Ginny packed up herself and her brother Austin, and they ran away. They packed their bags and they ran away. Georgia's distraught. She doesn't know where they are. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to spoil where they are. Obviously they come back at some point. But so so Ginny in Season 1, we learned that she inflicts harm on herself, self-harm, and this topic it goes into a lot more depth in Season 2. So I think it's really great, though, because it's a topic that's not talked about all that frequently. And I think that Ginny and Georgia, the cast, the producers, the whole team, they make you feel like you can feel for Ginny. You don't want her to do this, but I think it's really good mental health awareness. So she burns herself, and it's just spiraling even more out of control in Season 2. So we have that going on. Let's see. She's having a hard time understanding how her mother could do such a thing, and her mom, she's still living in Georgia's world. Georgia, she has it all figured out. She has a plan. But, this season we're able to see a more vulnerable side of her character. She's getting a little bit more unstable. Her emotions are showing more. And Brienne Howie, who plays Georgia's character, is just so amazing at this role. She really portrays the character of Georgia well. So like I said, you can feel for her. She's so here's a really fun part. So I live in Rhode Island, for those of you who did not know, and Ginny and Georgia takes place in a fictional town called Wellsbury, Massachusetts. So it's very New England town. And I love the references. If you were from New England anywhere, you were gonna just really enjoy these references, especially with the sports teams. They have this really fun one. I actually asked, when I interviewed Brienne Howie and Antonio Gentry, and I asked, there's these Fenway Park chairs that are displayed there in the season, and they mentioned that they're authentic and stuff. So I asked them if they knew if those were real chairs from Fenway. They didn't really know, but they thought they were really cool, and it was just fun to see all the references. So as far as my parents' guide, Ginny and Georgia is rated TV 14. It's rated TV 14 for language, self-harm, sex, smoking, substances. A lot's going on in this series. Like I said, the language, it's pretty crass. There are no F-bombs, but there's, multiple uses of every other type of word, and as far as the sex content, I would say it is less than Season 1, but it's still there. There's a lot more mature content in Season 2, though. You have drinking, you have, including there's characters drinking at school, there's characters being drunk at school, teenagers smoking pot, getting high, there's, mention of other types of sex, and I'm not going to get into that. You can read my review where it's more detailed in there. Mental health awareness, though, is really big. There's a big storyline on depression. There's multiple characters that are all battling something heavy this season, and it affects them differently. The way they react is differently, and so depression plays a really big part. Panic attacks are another major, multiple characters have panic attacks this season. So also Ginny is a mixed race. Her mom is white and her father is black. So she doesn't feel she necessarily fits in this predominantly white suburban town. She also feels like her mom cannot relate to her fully because she's white and Ginny she's black. So she's feeling a little bit more connected to her father and her father's family, and she faces some racism. She had some issues with a teacher in season 1, and that just continues on to season 2. So she's still faced with a lot of that. Ginny has a lot going on for a 16-year-old girl. As far as who I think should be watching this series, it's TV-14, which is not recommended for ages under 14. I would go ahead and bump it up to maybe 16. However, I know kids are going to want to watch this, and kids today, they grow up faster than, when we were kids. So I would encourage parents to strongly watch this series along with their teenagers. There's going to be questions, and, it's eye-opening as a parent for even you to see. So even if, you just watch the series on your own, I would highly suggest that, because it's a different world, and it's scary, and it's eye-opening to see what this generation is up against. So I would highly encourage you to check it out, and if your teens are dead set on watching it, to watch along with them. So overall, season 2 is just a blast. It is gonna have you're gonna want more. You're gonna want season 3 like yesterday, because the way it ends, of course, more unanswered questions. You're gonna want those answers. So I would love to know if you are planning on watching this series. I'm going to include all those links that I've talked about in the caption, and I'd love to hear your thoughts after you watch this. If you want to come back and let me know what your thoughts are, if you've seen some episodes already, if you watched season 1, let me know. Thanks for watching.